China Global Television Network.
President Mohamed Farmaajo has bowed to pressure, saying he will drop an attempt to extend his term by 2 years. This is after Sunday clashes split security forces along clan lines in the capital, Mogadishu. Government forces loyal to the president exchanged fire with factions that appear to have sided with the opposition. Prime Minister Mohamed Hussein Roble had earlier denounced the proposed term extension and called for a new presidential election. The president's term expired in February and the country failed to conduct elections as planned. Speaking during a televised address, President Farmaajo said he welcomed calls for elections to be held without delay. Let's now bring security expert Dr. Mustafa Ali, the CEO of Honor International Institute for Strategic Studies. He joins us via Zoom from Nairobi. Thank you so much, Dr. Ali, for joining us. If talks fail to take place, what options do the president and the international community have, considering previous negotiations ended in failure?
Thank you, Penina. The only option that Mohamed Abdullahi Farmaajo has is to return the country back to the path of constitutionalism. Remember, he is in office unconstitutionally after his term in office ended in February. The lower house that extended his term of office, its own term of office actually ended in December of last year. So all those acts of parliament and the term extension are unconstitutional according to the Somali's federal constitution. And the option that we see is for Farmaajo to return back to constitutionalism. For the case of international community, they have been very clear that the term extension was not going to be acceptable, and therefore Farmaajo, the government, and the Somali population should move towards the election based on the September 17 agreement and principles.
So is this the end for the push for a one-man vote in Somalia?
No, it's not. The one-man, one-vote election is desirable. However, the Somali community, the state itself, the political parties and politicians are not ready for one-man, one-vote in Somalia. There is still no stability. Al-Shabaab is still controlling large swaths of territory in Somalia, and it's unthinkable that the one-man, one-vote is going to take place at this point. What the September 17 agreement basically says is that the country is not ready for one-man, one-vote, and therefore in the interim, they should conduct the indirect elections to legitimize those that are in office or will come to office for another 4 years, within then which time Somalia can prepare for the one-man, one-vote elections.
And will new elections end Somalia's political problems, or are the country's problems deeper than election disputes?
Somalia's problems are much, much deeper than the current electoral disputes. The elections in and of itself is not going to end Somalia's problems. What a credible elections will do is to accord or offer legitimacy to those that will be leading Somalia, who then will have to work very hard, bring the clans together, and to build credible institutions, the Somali National Army, Parliament, the executive, judiciary, and all other institutions. Once those are then built, then there will be more stability. The whole issue of the clanism in Somalia, you can see in the last 3 days, what has happened is that, just to give you one example, the Somali National Army is now fragmented. Different clans have, those personnel belonging to those clans in Somalia have basically retreated and gone back to their clans to pledge loyalty to the kingpins in the clans. And so there is no national army in Somalia to start with. And this clanism is something that Somalia will have to deal with and build a coherent, an ideologically coherent force that is going to secure the country and then start resolving the issues, starting with Al-Shabaab, bring back security, and then organize for a one-man, one-vote elections in the near future.
All right, Dr. Mustafa Ali, we appreciate your time. Thank you very much for joining us.